Good afternoon, Guardians, and welcome to episode 2 of This Week in Destiny, a weekly Destiny news segment airing every Tuesday covering all of the latest updates, patches, community spotlights, anything interesting that happened over the past 7 days. From the giant House of Wolves expansion leak to the release of Activision's annual revenue, we've got a lot to cover today, but first, a word from our sponsors. This episode brought to you in part by The Grave Robber. It's different. First things first, the weekly heroic and nightfall strike is the Nexus. The nightfall modifiers are Void Burn, Angry, Epic, and Juggler, and the heroic modifier is just Juggler, no damage increase. There's 2 strategies you can employ to defeat the final boss of the strike, and I've included annotations to each of them below. The left video will take you to Superb Gamer's channel and his commentated strategy from within the boss's room, and the right will take you to the relaxing end, where he found a little hidey hole you can stand in and shoot the boss from. Both of these videos were uploaded earlier today, so it's safe to say that each strategy still works. There's been a lot of strides made this week by Guardians continually perfecting their strategies for the Crota's End raid, not the least of which was Twitch streamer That Guy Sees raid defeating Crota within one sword. So for those of you that aren't terribly familiar with the Crota fight, it involves killing a sword bearer enemy who then drops the sword on the ground. One member of your fireteam will pick up the sword and then use it to damage the boss. The only way to lower Crota's health is with the sword, and it disappears after a short time, meaning your raid is to fall back, kill ads, and wait for another sword bearer to spawn before repeating the process. But not this group. What these guys did is got a bunch of Defender Titans together and spawned a plethora of super orbs before even engaging the boss. That way when the time came, the raider holding the sword could use the high damage super attack over and over again. An excellent strategy, however that wasn't the only raiding achievement to occur this past week. Rob280 and his fire team earned great recognition for becoming the first players to clear the entire Crota's End raid without using any weapons. That's right. They've uploaded the video of them defeating each section of the raid, as well as the fireteam voice chat, which is just so fascinating to listen to and really get into the strategizing of top-tier Destiny players.
Why is this working?
Hurry!
Oh my God!
Hurry.
I'm trying! I'm punching as fast as I can. My little Titan hands can punch.
Oh my God!
Did we get her?
Dude,
Get out!
5 days later, Rob280 and his team had a new achievement to boast about, having just completed their Vault of Glass run with no weapons, meaning the same group of players now holds the de facto weaponless record for both of the raids. This is kind of like a King of Kong scenario, except no one else is trying to do this.
So many orbs and we have infinite grenades.
Oh, there's a
on my
Minotaur
side.
in here. Hang on.
There are so many Minotaurs
I did
around.
not have my blinding.
Again, if you or your fire team want to learn the best strategies for defeating each boss in the Crota's End, you can click the annotation on the left to see our normal mode guide, and the annotation on the right to see the hard mode version. Clicking either one will pause this video and open the guide in a new tab because I am an annotation god. Though defeating Destiny's raids in record time or with record silliness is pretty interesting, the biggest development in the world of Destiny this week was the massive leak of screenshots from the game's upcoming expansion, the House of Wolves. A Japanese player allegedly data mined the game files that already existed on his console and was able to turn up a huge amount of unreleased content, prompting Bungie's community manager to say, "Wow," and some other stuff. The number of individual screenshots included in the leak is so high that it's uncountable for people too lazy to count past 18. I'd guess 40 total. Maybe 34, to be safe. Bungie's community manager responded to the leak in his own post that was just on the screen a moment ago, downplaying the idea that any of this content will actually make it into the final game. He states, "Aside from giving it a name, Bungie has yet to reveal the House of Wolves." 2 days later in the weekly update, Bungie reveals the House of Wolves, explicitly stating when players can expect the expansion to be released and ready for download. While all of this was happening, Activision, Destiny's publisher, also released their annual earnings report for the 2014 year. Over $1.5 billion for the holiday quarter, leading to a total amount of $4.4 billion for the year. Now keep in mind, Activision owns a lot of major gaming franchises such as Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and many other established gaming series. This makes it even more surprising that almost 1/4 of their total revenue came strictly from Hearthstone, a free-to-play card game launched in March, and Destiny, which launched near the end of the year more than a week into September. $850 million from these 2 games alone in 2014. Amidst all of the craziness, the Destiny community continued to create their own content for the game, some of which I'd like to highlight now at the end of the show in the community spotlight. Of course, we have the No Guns run by Rob280 and co., really a unique way to make the game more challenging for players who have already defeated the raids on their hardest difficulty. Just yesterday, Reddit user Noble6 posted a collection of Destiny wallpapers he created which look pretty badass. They're also available to purchase in throw pillow form on his Redbubble page, so make sure to check that out if you have a family birthday or wedding anniversary coming up. And last, but by no means least, the community creation that probably made me laugh the hardest this week was created by a man who uses numbers instead of letters in his name, who made a great video showing us what it would be like if Samuel L. Jackson voiced our Ghost in the campaign. Definitely worth checking out. For a link to everything we talked about throughout the show, make sure to check the video description below, and if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to hit us up on Twitter or leave them in the comment section of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday on Raid Leader TV.